各位观众，大家好，阿弥陀佛。我叫恒实，今天我们准备研究大方广佛华严经十回向品欢迎各位参加。Good afternoon, everybody, and good evening. My name is Heng Sure. Today is March 4th. We will March 4th. Here in Australia, it's March 3rd back in California. And we are about to investigate the Flower Garland Sutra's Ten Transferences chapter. Glad you're with us. Welcome. City of 10,000 Buddhas had a major issue with their electricity. Living in a large community like that, we are out in the Ukiah Valley. We're subject to all kinds of natural phenomena. So those folks who are unable to join because there's no power at CTDB or running on generators only, and you have my sympathy, and I appreciate your willingness to join in all the same. 我们万佛城最近我们的传电器是不是就故障了，有出事了所以就生成就没有电力因为在深谷 Ukiah 那边，因为是大自然界来的，那个是偏僻的一个地方，所以我们会受这个大自然界的影响。那么生成的各位呢，可能今天没办法参加了，因为这个没有那个停电的关系了。那我们就恭敬他们的勇猛心就会就怎么说呢要发一个长远的心下个礼拜再听。Okay, hey, let's get going. Let's see here. What's the news? You're back online. Excellent. Okay. 万福成就在上线。好 Okay, excellent. Glad to know. Let us now start with our Dharma request. And Ling Feng is going to do our Dharma request today. We're going to, oops, I don't want to do that. I want to turn on the original sound. That's what Okay, I'm going to ring the bell 3 times and ask Ling Feng to request Dharma in just a moment. 我们先礼佛三个问心，然后我们请林峰居士来请法。好 ，Here we go。一问心，二问心，三问心。Okay, Ling Feng, if you would like to request Dharma, please go ahead and do it now.
恭请大德僧听，为此法会及一切众生，听转妙法轮，教导我们如何了生脱死，离苦得乐，速证无生。Will the Sangha with great virtue, out of compassion, for the sake of this assembly and all living beings, please turn the wonderful Dharma wheel to teach us how to live suffering and attain bliss and end birth and death, and quickly realize non-birth.
Namo tassa bhagavato arahato samma sambuddhassa.
Namo tassa bhagavato arahato samma sambuddhassa.
Homage to the blessed, noble, and perfectly enlightened one.
Homage to the blessed, noble, and perfectly enlightened one.
南无萨旦陀苏切多耶阿拉哈帝三藐三菩提耶。
南无撒旦陀苏切多耶阿拉诃帝三藐三菩提心。
无上甚深微妙法，百千万劫难遭遇。我今见闻得受持，愿解如来真实义。Supreme and wondrous Dharma, subtle and profound, rarely is encountered even in billions of eons. But now we see and hear it and accept it reverently. May we truly understand the Buddha's actual meaning. All right, Ling Feng, appreciate the Dharma request. Thank you for that. We will now, with the aid of a banjo that was created in 1915. This is a banjo that is over 100 years old. We're going to invoke spiritual presence and invite the Buddhas and Bodhisattvas to attend. 我们现在请这个鼓动的法器，这个是乐器哈，1915年做成的一个 banjo，它呢已经超过100年，100岁，我们就用它来恭敬的欢迎这个大方广佛华严经、华严海会佛菩萨，还有天龙八部护法神神莅临道场，祝福各位。Sounds very much out of tune. People are thinking, gee, what's wrong with that banjo? Because it's not tuned. There we go. We found it. There it is. All right. Sweet. 好的。其实我们能听到华严海会佛菩萨的这个名字，大方广佛华严经的名字已经有福气了。Even to be able to hear the name of the Avatamsaka Sutra in the assembly and to welcome them is pretty special. It's a kind of a rare blessing. Should count our blessings. We want to acknowledge the Pomo people today. Pomo people practice spiritual connections to the earth and to all creation on their spiritual ancestral land for tens of thousands of years. Today we acknowledge them as traditional custodians and original storytellers of the land. We offer respects to their elders past, present, and emerging, and to all First Nations people whose sovereignty was never ceded. 就是说 Pomo 人在他们祖先的土地上修炼他们的土地和万物的精神联系已有数万年。今年 今天我们承认他们是这些土地的传统监护人和原始讲故事的人，并且向他们过去、现在和新兴的长老们表示敬意，以及主权从未被割让所有第一民族的人民们表示敬意。Okay, and break out my bell one more time. Here we go. The bell sound wide resounds throughout 100 million worlds. The Buddha's law is heard and spread all throughout the triple world. The wondrous sounds that everywhere fill the Dharma realm with peace. May those who hear it gain the strength to follow in faith the Buddha's path. 众生传3000界内，佛法仰望一股中，共寻其法界和平，利益报贪我后的。There we go. All right. Now, let me see here who has joined us. We have over 100 friends with us already. Our co-host is in Taipei and in Seattle. We're being co-hosted by friends at City of 10,000 Buddhas. We have a friend listening in far-off Oroville, Washington. Who could that be? We have friends in Ukiah, California. San Jose, California. Barbara's here and Bob's here. Wow, this has become, a gathering place for all us old honky disciples. Celeste is here from Hong Kong. Lin Chanqing from Newbury Park, California. Friends in Fremont, Los Angeles, Saratoga, Sunnyvale, Calgary, Montreal, Kuala Lumpur, Cupertino. We're everywhere, by golly. Welcome, Grace. Glad you're here. From, let's see here, Heng Sure is here. That makes this Burlingame, California. Also from Guangdong, from Beijing, from Columbia City, Oregon. Welcome, Jan. Let's see here, from Berkeley, California, from Foster City, from Seattle. Let's see here, Wanpocheng, CTDB, more friends from Seattle, Union City, from New Zealand, from San Francisco, Saratoga, San Jose, Bay Area, Bothell, Washington, Guangzhou, San Gabriel, Oslo, Norway. Petra's here, welcome. San Jose, Sacramento, Los Angeles, Seattle, Ukiah, Oklahoma. There are more folks listening in from CTDB than ever before, and from the Ukiah area. Welcome, glad you're all here. Friends from Oakland, from Virginia, the state of, let's see here, Vancouver, Malaysia. Now we switch over to cities in East Asia. We have friends from Taipei, Beijing, Baotou, Seattle, Tainan, Shanghai, Harbin, Beijing, Hangzhou, 封家全家就在了，到齐了。辽宁、黑龙江、深圳、包头、内蒙古、北京、辽宁，东北人最多肯定是这样子。台湾云林西螺，好欢迎。蓝海、株洲、圣河西、新北市、陕西宝鸡、黑龙江、福建泉州，好。九华山，欢迎。北京、河北唐山。还有什么地方呢？黑龙江、北京，呼和浩特，还有蒙古利亚、乌兰巴托、深圳、南京、海南、北京 ，Kelly is here。黑龙江，上海、加拿大，加拿大不是中国。 Kuala Lumpur 中国辽宁 OK 山东深圳上海黑龙江Taipei and Haining OK hey welcome everybody so glad you're here that's great fun I enjoy that a lot okay here's what's happening I'm gonna unshare here so I have my camera on if people want to get there we go want to get a visual on me. So I've got my lovely Heart Sutra behind with Guanyin Bodhisattva here. I so much enjoy being surrounded by the Heart Sutra. Great wisdom. We're looking at the Ten Transferences chapter, and the Ten Transferences chapter is one practice. It is the crowning practice of Samantabhadra Bodhisattva, and Samantabhadra Bodhisattva is the Bodhisattva of great practices. He is the one who, if you had to ask who knows how to cultivate, he would certainly be the one to tell you who knows how. Would he say he's the one? Probably not. He would say, once you learn, you are the one to cultivate, who knows how. But he is the librarian of all of the many 84,000 practices. And of the 10 that get the most attention, the practice of transference is number 10. That's the one that concludes all other practices. So this entire long chapter of the Avatamsaka Sutra is about one particular practice. And one of the best parts about it is it's portable. It's done with the mind. You don't have to cross your legs in a particular way. You don't have to have any special equipment. You don't have to train to qualify for special instruction. You just have to be willing to pass on the goodness. Someone once told me that money is a lot like water. It flows. And skillful people who wind up with a lot of money are often people who know how to keep the money circulating. They don't try to stop it and hang on to it. I am somebody who knows nothing about money, so I never have it, never think about it. Being a monk, so I can't speak from experience, but I know that the ability to keep money in motion pretty much ensures that you'll never run short. And trying to hang on to it, hoard it, stuff it under your mattress, often, no matter how much you actually have in your mind, you're always poor. So, transference, dedication of merit, works on the same principle, which is to say, we want to keep the results of our cultivation moving, give it away. And that always ensures that merit and virtue flows through your heart, through your mind, in an ever-increasing stream. 这个我说 my nose itches, I'm gonna scratch. There we go. 就是说，这个回向，这个法门是普贤菩萨第10，普贤菩萨有10个所谓10大愿望。第10就是回向，是应该说皇冠，那个国王所穿的这个帽子，皇冠，这是最高的一个法门。普贤菩萨为什么我们注意他呢？因为他是大行普贤菩萨，就说你如果要问如何修行，你就要问那位菩萨，普贤菩萨，他是专家，他懂得修行的最好的方法他说所有84000法门里边有10个是最重要的。应该说那10个里边呢，最要懂的就是回向。回向怎么一回事呢？那有很多的这个好处。第一呢，是提醒的，是可以带着你 可以跟着你来，不必盘盘腿子，也不必礼佛。你坐轮椅，你坐病床，没有关系了，你一样可以修这个回向的法门，不用任何的什么设备，也不用怎么样申请啊，然后呢受训练才能用这个法门，你就要很布施就可以了啊。好比说呢，我有一个朋友，他是非常有钱的一个人，大富翁，是女的，她是专家，她写书对于金钱，她是一个应该说不是金钱的一个专家。很多有钱的人去他那里问他怎么样用他们的钱让他继续增长。他怎么说呢？他说金钱好像水，水呢，它的根性是要流动。他说，如果你明白金钱要让它流动，不要停，那这么一个人就永远都会发财。谁会亏钱呢？谁会觉得穷？是要把金钱拧动，不要留。希望钱都放在我床单底下了，就保留我的钱。哎呀，真的不能用它，不要动它。那些人钱有多有少，心里已经是穷人，因为不懂金钱的性质是流动，所以你越用你的钱，那个钱越来越多。他说最好用钱的方法要布施，就是这么一个人。What is her name？ 我现在我目前想不起来。他在旧金山，他因为我那个 interfaith group 宗教联系那个团队，是完全是 not for profit， 所以请那个人来给我们知道如何有人捐钱给那个团队，所以才认识他。What is her name? Who's the woman? I can't think of her name. She's a San Francisco native. Her theory about using money. She is the advisor on not-for-profits, and Elizabeth. I'll think of it later. Anyway. 那么为什么提到金钱的关系呢？因为回向功德是一样的，你懂得回向，有的人就说，那个回向功德是我学来的，很辛苦，不要布施。你说要给他人的，自己没有了怎么办呢？那个不懂回向，就说懂回向的人怎么做呢？就说修行的目的是要积功累德。怎么样积累功德呢？你就要布施。你看这个第七回向的菩萨，他很会动他的功德，不保留，他就愿意受他回向人的功德，会受他回向的人越来越多，所以必须要功德越来越多，这样子呢达到目的。So to understand the practice of dedication of merit, the way one practices skillfully handling money is to understand the fluidity of it. And somebody who is truly understanding the dedication of merit, transference of merit, is someone who hopes to increase the amount of people or living beings who will receive his or her dedication. And in order for that number to grow, they have to cultivate more. And even more importantly, it's not a question of quantity, it's a question of quality. How if our minds are free of obstacles, if our minds are free of calculation as we dedicate merit, then the number of people who can benefit from even a single, as they say, a single good root, a single wholesome quality, is limitless. It's because our minds are so crammed with stuff that when we dedicate merit, it doesn't go very far. Not everyone gets it. 所以懂得回向的人要重质不重量。怎么说呢？如果我们回向的时候心里没有这个无明，心里没有妄想执着，心里没有打算盘那种的为自己算自己的利益，那一个善根一点点的功德回向所有的众生，所有众生都可以受到好处。所以种植懂得回向，你回向的功夫是说空心三轮体空，布施的修行人也空了，受回向的众生也空了，回向的功德也空了，那就你的心回向的心就像一个手机的灯塔一样的，就360度都会受到好处。So what's the ideal? How do you do it? You think about that phrase that says the three wheels are empty. What are the three wheels? When it comes to giving, the three wheels are the giver, the receiver, and the gift are all, quote, empty. That is to say, don't stop. That way, when the cultivator who initiates the transference is just doing it for the sake of the Dharma, to do it well, to do it with intent, with kindness, that wish of wanting to share your goodness with everybody. That's the giver is empty. The receiver is empty, meaning you're not giving it to Uncle John or to Aunt Sally only. And, Uncle Phil, you don't like Uncle Phil, so you're not going to transfer. No, that's not the way to do it. You empty out the receiver, and although the merit and virtue is like a light, thereby it doesn't weigh anything. Maybe it has an atomic weight, maybe, but it's also empty. That is to say, you're not waiting to try to find that merit and virtue to give it. It's you empty the giver, the receiver, and the gift, and it connects. That's the magic of the Buddha Dharma. 佛法的不可思议的地方就在哪里？三轮体空。Okay, that's where we are. Now, take a look. 看看。We know, as I mentioned before, that we're in a section of text. We've been here for a couple weeks now, where we're in 110 reasons for the Bodhisattva to become happy. He is happy, she is happy. Scrolling here, take a look. Here is the lead sentence. 我们已经几个礼拜了，在这里呢，还是按部就班了啊。佛子、菩萨、摩诃萨如是回向时，发欢喜心，为令一切众生得利益安乐故。Here's where we are. Disciples of the Buddha, when bodhisattvas, mahasattvas make dedications in this way, they bring forth great joy. They do it in order to enable living beings to get li'i anla, benefit and happiness, to get stuff and to be happy. Right? That's it. What follows are 109 more of those reasons. 109 reasons why bodhisattvas are happy. They are happy. They bring forth great joy as they dedicate. And this is just a long list of reasons why. Okay? 各位，你们记得吗？我们大约3个礼拜前就开始这一段第7回向，就说菩萨发欢喜心，如是回向时发欢喜心，发欢喜心，为令 那个金信是说字拍的太小，法师你让它大一点啊。OK， 好的，我会听话啊。如是回向时发欢喜心，回向的时候发欢喜心啊。然后呢，为什么？为令一切众生得利益安乐故，这是第一个大的原因。可是呢，下边有109个其他的原因，菩萨回向的时候就欢喜。好 ，OK。那我们so we found out because this was interesting to have this section within a section. This is the 7th transference, and why is this long list suddenly of 110 reasons why bodhisattvas are happy? So I'm glad that bodhisattvas are happy, not finding fault, not criticizing, just why, we're curious. So I went to our expert. Certainly, Shifu is our expert, but Shifu also pointed us to a source, which was the華嚴Sutra, the Avatamsaka exegesis commentary. And this is a commentary by Master Chengguan, who is known as National Master Clear and Cool. Famous, said to be the 4th of the 5 ancestors, patriarchs of the Avatamsaka school, and lived a very long time, lived to be over 100, was very tall, extraordinary person. He said that this long 110 vow list divides into 2. He said there are 73 and then 37. 73 specific practices of transference that the Bodhisattva wants living beings to accomplish. And it involves, in the middle of those, are stepping up the 53 stages of the Bodhisattva path, etc., followed by 37 integrations of those practices towards Buddhahood. We have done the 73. Today we start the 37. Let's see, 73 and 37, correct. So that's where we are, and if it seems like there's a lot of repetition, there is, but it's there is an inner structure involved. 就是说有110个愿。我看这个第7回向里边有这么长一个名单，为什么？奇怪，我就好奇了。我就打开我们的最可用的注解，就论，就是华严素抄，清凉国师唐朝的大德高僧，他给我们立的一个说明。上人当然我们也问师父什么意思，那师父也有他的说明，他也让我们可以查清凉国师的华严素抄。好，清凉国师就说这个110个另外分两部分，那么上半部呢有73个愿，下半部呢37愿。我们上半部已经讲完了，我们今天开始这个下半部。那个上半部呢是菩萨各个的发的菩萨愿、回向愿，下半部呢是他把各个的横门，他菩萨愿意众生接受这个修行，然后呢就把这个怎么说呢？我把他的话，打开让大家看到了。So instead of my trying to interpret what's happening here, I'm going to show you. show and tell both. Here it is. 大一点 There we go. 哦，老眼睛可以看到。Save that, and here we go. Oh. There we are. Good. Okay. Says, the last 38, did I say 37? The last 38 phrases are about ensuring perfect integration with causes fully realized and effects completed. 就说后38，我说37不对，38句，令成圆永因缘果满，就是下半部。So this is now. I want people to appreciate. This is kind of a meta discussion. That is to say, I'm going to talk about the process of explaining this. These 38 explain the practice of integration, or you could say integrating practices, where causes are complete and the fruitions is fulfilled. And it also clarifies that within each and every stage of the Bodhisattva path, the intention of becoming a Buddha is here. Okay? So that's, just keep that in mind. And it's like, oh, yeah, I kind of get that. Master Chongguan, the author of these words, is really has the big picture of the Avatamsaka Sutra, understands it at multiple levels at once, philosophically, practically, linguistically. He knows all these different approaches to it. And I find that even a single sentence of the Tang Dynasty explanation gives me a grounding, and it kind of puts it's kind of the downbeat. Is this 4/4 or is it 3/4? Is it a waltz tempo? Bum bum ba dum bum ba dum bum, or is it bum bum ba bum bum ba bum? Gives you the tempo, gives you the beat to understand what's going on. So that's what we're about. 就是说，清凉果师他呢，他懂得华严，同时好几不同层，好几层。一起，就说文字方面，他也会讲；那个哲理方面，他也会讲；那个实用方面，他也会讲。历史方面，他都会介绍给我们。所以，我们能懂得依据这个华严素抄，就是给我们一个基地、一个基础。那我们另外明白这个到底这段华严经的经文是怎么一回事 ？OK？ 今天刮风，所以我喷嚏 ，I'm sneezing because there's a wind blowing. It's got my nose irritated. Okay. So the first of these 38, the first 10 phrases ensure that sentient beings achieve completion in their inherent nature and in their actions in each stage. Understand that? No, I don't, honestly. 就是头10句从第一今天开始，就是令众生在众性为因恒圆满。听得懂吗？听不懂啊，老实讲听不懂。好，我们研究。We're heading back down, moving through 72 to the last 38. What are we doing? We're trying to understand what's going on here. Get the essence of the Avatamsaka. Here we go. Starting, let's see here. Here it is. 为令一切众生悉能忘忆一切佛刹，听受正法，无不边故。In order to enable living beings to travel to Buddha kshetras where they can hear and receive the proper Dharma, the right Dharma. We spent a lot of time on this last week, this sentence, talking about how bodhisattvas need inspiration. We need encouragement in order to keep going. Who knows all about this? Elementary school teachers, classroom teachers know about this. Even college teachers, know about this. Doesn't have to be elementary school teachers. Sometimes students simply don't connect. They don't want to listen. They're not interested. And you can easily feel like you're wasting your time in there. So it really helps to have it. All it takes for, in my experience, for classroom teachers is one individual to step up to you after class or in the hallway or in an email and say, something you said just really got me thinking. So I found another book about this and spent the whole weekend reading it, and I've got some questions, right? And just even one student picking up on what you're explaining and carrying it forward, you can see that you've lit a fire, you've opened a door in the life experience of that student. That's enough to bring you back on Monday morning refreshed and ready to go, right? That's why bodhisattvas travel to Buddha lands to listen to Buddha speak the Dharma, so that they can remember that it's a long road to awakening. 就说我们上个礼拜花了不少时间讲这句，为什么菩萨常常去佛国听佛，参加法会听佛讲法？上个礼拜我们都说，因为众生不好度，我们顽固不化的，刚强，或者心散乱，或者离不开手机，就欢迎了，就到那个手机上，结果呢不好度。菩萨参加佛的法会就会记得，哦，原来最初发菩提心是因为众生受苦，我跟众生有缘的，我们是一体同体大悲，所以我不能放弃，不能放下，不能停，不能发偏心就放弃。我说谁懂得这个道理呢？老师，课室里边的，尤其小学、中学、高中、中学、大学老师都会明白这特别的苦，这种的偏心。有的时候学生不听，不感兴趣，没有意思，在那儿你跟他们讲着很恰当，他们也眼睛就没有光明了，哈。不过呢，我所认识真正喜欢教学生、教书的老师，就需要一个孩子、一个学生，他下课完了，他一个孩子到老师的书桌上就说：“老师，你星期五你讲的那个事实了，或者你提那个事情在历史发生，在唐朝发生那个事，在清朝发生那个事情，那好像我觉得，就好像心里开一个火，上一个火。我回去了，整个周末我都另外 我在我父亲的这个图书馆那个书桌，我看到一本书，我就读了整个周末。我回来，我很多问题向你提问呢。老师有空可以答复我的问题吗？就是要一个孩子这样子，你可以看得出你讲的内容，那个课室的那个教诲了，给这个孩子心里开一个门，那就够了。一个孩子真的得到受用，你就会当然可以了。你随便问呢，这样子就会有那个在线上各位观众，我知道里边都有老师，都会明白这个事实。I know there are some classroom teachers and administrators listening today in our gathering, in our community here, who will understand that reality of the just one student who gets it is enough to rekindle your willingness to put up with it. Hours and weeks and months of nothing happening. Yeah. Okay, moving on. 为令一切众生智慧利益. Okay, you know what? So we can move on. I'm going to do 10 down there. Let's do 10. 为令一切众生智慧利益，为世所宗，欲佛等故。为中心师 ，There you go， 精心师，够不够大了？为令一切众生依一切智，知一切法，普圆满故。为令一切众生行不动业，得无爱果，普圆满故。为令一切众生所有诸根显得神通，能知一切众生根故。为令一切众生得无差别平等智慧，欲一向法普清净故。为令一切众生于理无为，一切善根悉具足故。为令一切众生与一切菩萨自在神通悉明达故。为令一切众生得一切佛无尽功德，若福若智悉平等故。All right, that's the first 10 of the 38 remaining. Starting with last week, that was the first one. Here we go. In order to enable living beings to bring about beneficial wisdom that earns the admiration of the world in the same way as all Buddhas. In order to enable living beings to understand by means of omniscient wisdom all phenomena to perfection. In order to enable living beings to perfect each and every practice of remaining unmoved that leads to the realization of unobstructed fruition. Ho ho. In order to enable living beings to realize the spiritual powers of their sense faculties, thereby discerning all living beings' roots. In order to enable living beings to attain the wisdom that regards all equally, and to develop pure realization that regards all phenomena as one. In order to enable living beings to always accord with the noumenal essence of all things, perfecting all their good roots. In order to enable living beings to penetrate all bodhisattvas' spiritual powers of self-mastery, and in order to enable living beings to attain the inexhaustible merit of all Buddhas, thereby realizing the same merit and wisdom as all Buddhas. Okay, now everybody remembers our guide. What is this about? This is about the practice of integration. Integration. Taking all the individual practices of the first 70-some, 72, and integrating them. It's called Yuan Yong Heng. So integrating into the idea that, what is it? Wei zhong you fo yi. So that as bodhisattva, so within each stage, the intention of becoming a Buddha is still there. Why is that important? It's because You might think, well, I'm just here cultivating and transferring merit. Living beings might get it, they might not. It's like, don't have anything else to do, might as well cultivate. Ain't got nothing else to do, might as well cultivate. Yes, don't forget, this is towards Buddhahood. The Bodhisattva who is doing this is heading towards Buddhahood. Every bit of this, what is it doing? With every good quality, wholesome, good root cultivated, you're giving away the self. With every good root transferred, you're giving away the self. Buddhahood is the goal. That's the point. That's the integration here. 我们要明白这10个愿呢，是怎么说呢？就说菩萨没有错，他在回向这个、回向那个，都有他希望众生就会快圆满他们的回向愿，同时每一次回向都向佛果在近一样。菩萨究竟都愿意成佛，不过呢，他不愿意单独一个自己成佛，他愿意一切众生一起。所以这些道理呢，就说每次回向都有成佛的意思在里边 ，OK？ 那就是说缘永恒 ，OK？Got it？ the Bodhisattva does want to become a Buddha in the end. It's just not right away. He's cultivating to become Buddhas with all living beings, not by himself or herself. All right. Got it. Here we go. One way to look at these is to identify the verb. We know that in order to enable living beings, to is the same in every one of these. So the verb here is to attain. And because these are complex, this is already the 7th practice, there's multiple verbs. To attain and to realize. So there's 2. He's got, this is a complex dedication wish. I want living beings to get Buddha's inexhaustible merit. So they can do that by getting rid of the self. And as they do that, they will realize Buddha's quality, merit, and virtue. Okay, so another function of becoming a Buddha. 各位看看这个愿we're going back up. Starting here. 我们看看这个愿怎么分析呢？知道每一个呢都是为令一切众生什么什么故，是不是？所以每个愿110个都起头要为令一切众生如何如何故就可以了。然后我们在里边了，要看那个动词，动词在哪儿？智慧利益，为世所宗，于佛等。OK， 为世所宗就是动词，是不是？为世间的人崇拜、恭敬、智慧和利益，他众生世界很佩服的菩萨的智慧利益跟佛一样的，所以我们先要找到那个动词，然后可以比较了解。那么现在是第7回向，是不是？所以已经菩萨的地位已经高了，这不是很简单，所以这些回向里面比较深入，比较不能说复杂，就是不是说 简单了，就是比较进步哈。Okay, so we're looking for the verbs. In order to enable living beings to, what do you want? What does he want? He wants to bring about beneficial wisdom that earns the admiration of the world in the same way as all Buddha's beneficial wisdom does. Okay? So the world admires the beneficial wisdom that the Buddhas put into practice, the Buddhas use. Notice the beneficial part. It's wisdom for use, wisdom that works, wisdom you can employ in the world to get the results you need to solve your problems. That's beneficial wisdom. And people see when you do that the first, second, third, fourth, fifth, 10th time, they really admire you. So what they want to have that too. 好了，就说因为智慧利益，智慧是有用的，智慧是解决问题的，智慧是实在的，很具体的智慧。你用它解决问题了，为世所宗，大家佩服、恭敬、欢喜你用它多1次、2次、3次、10次，哇，世间的人就非常崇拜跟佛一样。Okay, what else? Got it. In order to enable living beings to what? Understand by means of omniscient wisdom all phenomena. If I were rewriting this, I would say to understand all phenomena perfectly by means of omniscient wisdom. So, if you have wisdom, you understand what's going on. You're not confused. Got it? Simple. Yep. 就说为令一切众生以一切智治一切法，普圆满。如果你可以用一切智治一切法，哎呦，那个日子过得更好过，是不是？ In order to enable living beings to what? Perfect, meaning bring to perfection each and every practice of remaining unmoved that leads to the realization of unobstructed fruition. What? Nope. Okay. Find the verb. To bring to perfection every practice. What kind of practice? A practice of remaining unmoved. Like, what is in the world? So, another way to translate that, samadhi. To make perfect, what is a practice of remaining unmoved? It means things don't shake you. Nothing surprises you or shocks you. Not that you're a piece of wood or a block of concrete, but that your heart has a capacity to hold all of the varieties of stupidity that we are capable of. And you go, yeah, I've seen it. Okay, we can handle it. Moms. Moms are the perfect example. Who else? Firefighters. They, I remember on 3 Steps, 1 Bow, we were in Central California, what are called the Tri-Cities area. And some firefighters from the local area were interested in Buddhism and came out and made offerings and asked us questions as we passed through. And Norman Hammond was the man's name in particular. And he came back regularly and he said, boy, Buddhism really explains it. Talks about impermanence You know what human life is? He says, human life lasts as long as the drops of sweat on the plate where the last piece of toast was. He said, Yay, Norm. That's about as vivid a description of impermanence as I've heard. The drops of sweat on the plate where the last piece of toast was. He said, I have seen people that I pull out of a burning house at great risk to myself, standing outside of the flames, run back inside the building to get their wallet, to get a picture of their family, to get their pet's food dish. He said, I've seen it all. So, and he says, you just have to live in the present moment. So, the practice of remaining unmoved, firefighter, that leads to the realization of unobstructed fruition. Well, we hope that your samadhi does lead to the realization of unobstructed fruition. That would be 戒定慧. The ding part leads to the hui part. The samadhi leads to the wisdom, right? So, the bodhisattva transfers merit so that living beings will perfect each and every samadhi practice so they can get unobstructed fruition. Okay. 谁懂得这个行不动业呢？愿一切众生行不动业，得无爱果，普圆满。怎么样不动业呢？就是说定力三昧，不动业呢就是三昧啊。三昧呢就是定，你有戒呢就有定，有定呢就有慧，就是无爱果，就是佛果慧。好的。那么谁懂这个？母亲懂得这个定力，行不动业，看到孩子，哎呀，怎么会这么颠倒，这么不懂事？母亲也不能发火啊，还要忍着。还有谁？那个消防队哦，我们三步一拜的时候，有一些消防队在所谓 Tri-Cities。那里Pismo Beach 他们有一个叫 Norman Hammond， 他说佛教真的讲得很实在的。他说什么叫无常？他说佛教明白无常。他说我跟我的消防队的同业我们的同行，我们懂得无常。无常是多久了？他说人生是多久了？他说人生是什么？他说我一个比喻，他说你最后一块烤面包离开那个盘子，剩下露水几滴，那就是人生的长短。最后几滴水，你把这个最后一块烤面包从那个盘子拿出来，剩下有几滴露水，是不是？那就是人生那么长。意思就是三眼之间。他说我看了好几次，众生不懂，我把我的生命都放在救他们，就是无常之间。从那个火灾把他们救出来了，离开到外边去，没有危险。他们那个人他就说：“哎呀，我母亲的相片就跑回去，烧死了。”或者他们就说：“哎呀，我的钱包忘了，跑回去，烧死了。”或者说：“哎呀，我狗狗的这个喂狗那个盘子忘了，跑回去烧死了。”他说众生就是这么，人生就这么短，没有定力。他说所以谁有定力呢？就是消防队 firemen， 他们有定力，行不动业那我们怎么呢？就是心量要放大，所有我们众生颠倒的行为不能动于众呢，那就是 行不动业，得我爱国。All right, all right, all right. Here we go. Translating these, my Chinese has got so limited. In order to enable living beings to what? Realize spiritual powers of our sense faculties so that we can discern living beings' roots. Okay, this is talking about the 10 practices. The 10 practices of the Bodhisattvas and of the Buddhas have that ability to, in a single glance, in a single hearing, this says sense faculties, use whichever ones you want, they can know the capacity of living beings to understand and how soon and how to develop them. Okay? So, 就是说，菩萨他愿意得到菩萨十种智慧力或者佛如来实力，就那个实力里边，你有这个力量，你就知道众生种种解、种种戒，还有他们的宿命。你一看了，你就知道怎么样教化众生，让他们的这个道业圆满。Okay, let's see here. Actually, Edwin has a question. How he transfers merit, transfers to Dharma protectors, karmic debtors, ancestors, parents, siblings, relatives, spouses, sentient beings of the Dharma realm to attain unsurpassed Bodhi way, leave the ocean of suffering. Is it the correct way, is Edwin's question. And I would say that what you have listed here is fine. It's a perfect way to transfer merit. To say it in another way, there is no right or wrong way. There are different results from the giving that you do. I would expand from this list that you have and say, in order to do it the way a bodhisattva and the Avatamsaka would do it, is not only to dedicate to those living beings with whom you have affinities. You say Dharma protectors and debtors, Yuan Qin Zaizhu, ancestors, etc., siblings, relatives, spouses, and all sentient beings. You have gone from the personal to the universal, and that's how you want to do it. If you only dedicate to those with whom you personally have connections, they will get the benefit, but the fruition will be partial. If you never dedicate to those with whom you have connections in your life, that is to say, your current relatives, etc., then you have to cultivate a lot of merit and virtue to share it, because your mind is very big. What I do both. There's no question that the sutras encourage us to transfer to all living beings at once, to send it out, as I said, with the emptiness of the giver, the receiver, and the gift. However, we do have negative affinities, people whom we have harmed, people who have harmed us, people with whom we currently are fighting or obstructed or just can't seem to get past. There's a rut, right? So do we never transfer to them? No, we keep them in mind, have a thought for them, and transfer to all living beings. In Catholicism, they have a prayer list. I've known many priests who and monks who actually carry a book, and whenever someone asks them for prayers, they write it down, and they pray from that book every day, so that no one is left out. People who are sick, who are struck down get the word about cancer, or people who have long COVID and suddenly realize they're not going to recover, or they don't know, they have that fear. Transfer to all of them individually and to all living beings. The point is, it originates with your mind, and it goes out from your mind as far as it can go. If you have an image of someone who is in need, excellent. They are also living beings. Furthermore, here's the secret. When we transfer to all living beings, we ourselves are living beings, and we get a share. When we say, I give it all away, we also get a share. So your question, is this the correct way? Yeah, it's an excellent way to do it. The last one, to all sentient beings of the Dharma realm, everyone's included. Now, your last part, so that they attain the unsurpassed Buddha way and leave the ocean of suffering, excellent. That vow would fit right in with the rest of these, wouldn't it? So to say, is this the correct way? It is a correct way. Excellent. There are many, many, many correct ways to do it. Yours is a good one. Don't forget individuals, and don't forget living beings. You're doing it right. Edwin 在吉隆坡，他出一个问题，他说：“我每天回向功德，就包括这些人，我的护法，我的冤亲债主，我的过去的祖先，现在的父母、兄弟姐妹、太太，还有一切众生，希望他们都得到无上佛果，离开苦海。”对不对？这样子回向对不对？我就答复 Edwin， 我就说，这样子回向也是很正确的，也是对的，不是说唯有这个是对的。怎么样呢？如果我们专门回向给冤亲债主、六亲眷属、兄弟姐妹，不回向给一切众生，都可以。这样子不能说不对，也不能说只有这个方法才对，那个就小了有好处就是小。如果我们完全回向给一切众生，然后有人到我们跟前说法师，你可不可以回向给我的先生，他现在得癌症，你可不可以回向给他恢复健康？你如果说不会，我就是专门回向给众生，那也不对。我认识许多天主教的神父，他们拿个本子，常常有人到他们的跟前说，神父，你为我母亲祈祷可不可以？然后他就说当然可以了。然后每天祈祷的时候，为他的本子里边写的名字一个回向祈祷，也可以的，也很正确。所以呢，华严经没有错，告诉我们，这个实惠商品，Edwin，他那个问题呢，就说可以写到这个本子上，那个华严经上也会。我们都说那就是华严经菩萨所发的愿，是不是？不过呢，你可以为你的亲戚、为你认识的众生回向，也对的。你不要忘了回向给一切众生。这里要说清楚，我们回向功德的时候，自己也拿到一份，自己是个众生，所以。回向不能说回向一切众生，回向菩提，回向实际，回向 这个那个佛果啊，愿一切众生愿一此功德，庄严佛净土。不是说你也例外，我们也得到一部分，所以它远用也是无量，也是为的这个目标。Okay, so I hope that answers your question, Edwin. Continue. 总而言之，越做越会做。In general, the more we transfer, the more we are able to transfer. It's true. You get better at it. It's like a muscle. It gets stronger the more you do it. Okay. So we got to, let's see here. We did 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay. We'll start here next week because we've got an amazing section of Master Xuanzang's story to share. Oh boy. Look at this. You remember he was in Samarkand, and in Samarkand, the people there worship fire, and they are not friendly to Buddhists who they consider us to be what's the word? Heretics. So, and when they see monks, there's temples there, but they're empty. And when the monks try to live in the temple, the locals try to chase them out with fire. So the king of Samarkand was arrogant at first, and then Master Xuanzang spoke the Dharma, talked about cause and effect and rebirth among heaven, devas and humans, and the advantages of bowing to the Buddha. The king was impressed, and he observed the precepts and respected the master. 到了 Samarkand, 康国 let's see, 当年康国那个国王最初呢贡高，对于玄奘大师不恭敬然后请他讲道理讲法，大师呢讲了佛法，讲了因果，讲那个六道轮回，成佛的好处。哇，国王马上起一个恭敬心，祈求受不戒。那个国家呢不信佛，大家崇拜火大。看到佛教的出家人到了那个空的道场里边，如果有和尚要住那里，那边的老百姓呢把他赶走。So 从2小时忘死礼拜，诸壶还一火烧烛，沙弥换一告王，王闻令不少者得以其百姓，令结其手。Two of the master's monks went to worship the Buddha in the monasteries. They were driven out by the natives with fire. The novices reported the king. The king heard it, had the men arrested, the one who tried to burn them. And after assembling everybody, he said, cut their hands off. Oh no. 国王叫他们剁了手。法师将欲全善，不忍回其肢体，救之。往乃众其之，随诸都外。自是上下萧然，闲求信士，遂设大会，度人居思。起歌变邪心，犹开蒙俗，所道如此。With a mind of kindness, the master couldn't bear to see them mutilated. He rescued them. Thereupon the king said, beat them, send them out of the city. Okay. After which the king and the people believed in Buddhism, and a great meeting was held to ordain some people who afterwards lived in the monasteries. Ooh, good luck getting offerings. Wherever the master went, he corrected those who were wrong and enlightened those who lacked knowledge, just as stated above. 你愿不愿意留下来住那个寺庙？会不会他们供养你？不见得，可能会饿死。又系300余里，至屈霜 拟迦国，又西200余里至河汉国，又西400里至卜诃国，又西400里至伐地国，又西400里至霍里西弥迦国，国东临覆周河，又西南300余里至结霜那国，又西南200里入山，山路深险，才通人步，复无水藻。Once more, proceeding on this way, he went towards the west for 300 li and reached the country of Kochania. 200 li further on, he reached the country of Kargan, then 400 li to Bokhara, another 100 li to Betik, and a further 500 li the country of Khwarizm, which bordered on the Oxus River in the east. Turning southwest, after traveling for 300 li, he reached the country of Kesh. 200 li southwest of Kesh, he entered a range of mountains. The path in the mountains was long, narrow, and dangerous, being passable by one person only. There was no grass and no water. Okay, where is it? Modern Stalinabad, Tajik, the Soviet Union of Tajikistan. He has reached Afghanistan. Are you ready? Take a look. Here it is. This is where he came down. He traveled modern Tajikistan. Dushanbe, remember Master Xuanzang bordered the lake here in Xinjiang? Here's where he went. The green are the mountains. The brown is, did I get it right? Is the green the highland or the lowland? I'm not sure. So this is where he traveled. Kyrgyzstan, Tashkent. Samarkand is in here. Now he's reached Tajikistan. And what's ahead of him? Afghanistan. Afghan. 大家记得吗？玄奘大师从这边过来，就是新疆在这里，过了，看到这条河，这个湖，这条大湖，然后经过 Bishkek， 往南边，往西边走，然后 Samarkand 到了这里，到 Tashkent， 往南边就到了 Tajikistan。Dushanbe 就是这个 Stalinabad， 现在叫 Dushanbe。然后呢，到了哪里？阿富汗 ，Afghanistan。不好走，实在不好走。Okay, oh my goodness. Okay. Here is Kabul. That's the capital, current capital. What else? 山行300余里入铁门，封闭狭窍，二牙石多铁矿，一只为门扉，右柱铁尾铃，多悬于上，故意为名，其突厥之关塞也。Having traveled for more than 300 li among the mountains, he entered the Iron Gate. The peaks were precipitous, and the rocks were rich with iron ore. The door, which was fixed on the rocks, was made of iron sheets, and many iron bells were hanging on it, hence its name. This was the pass of the Turks. Oh boy. When you hear about this, for example, lapis lazuli, the most beautiful blue stones, come from mines here. This is where it comes from. Currently, under the control of the Taliban. That's why it's hard to get new lapis lazuli. The Taliban control it all right now. Liu Li 这个宝石，蓝色、深蓝色，都是从这些的矿来的，这边的矿。Taliban 现在堵塞这里，就控制这儿。Yeah. How many Chinese travelers ever saw any of this? This 铁门, this iron door, the iron gate. So exotic. And yet, you know, all of this travel, 300余里, 200余里, 400余里, all of the travel here, 400 li, 100 li, 500 li, this is bitter, difficult going, only because of his vows, only because he is resolute and he has Guanyin Bodhisattva's support and the gods and the dragons in the Eightfold Pantheon. Is he able to traverse these places where there's no water and there's no grass? This is some of the most forbidding territory in the entire world. And our Mahayana Dharma brother on foot covered this ground looking for the Dharma. 玄奘大师呢，他步走行步，一步一步走到这个地球上，可以说最不好过的一个风景，一个地盘，没有草，没有水，又高又危险，很久，就是没有路了。有多少中国人，有多少出家人去过这里？没有多少。可是他呢，他都能步行，然后写下他所看到的，他会记录，让后边的人也可以在他后边来。他因为心里有观世音菩萨的支持，所以呢，他不怕，他也不放弃，他不停，这么发大愿的这个玄奘大师 ，The Incredible Pilgrim, Master Xuanzang. Okay, this is a pass of the Turks, and he comes to Tukara. Great stories coming up here about the people he met. Just astonishing stuff. All right, that's exciting. Oh boy. Let's see. Kelly, you asked me a question. Hang on to it for next week, all right? You can, Kelly, 你这个问题下个礼拜再说了，好吧？要再提，好吗？不要忘了啊。Okay, we're going to practice our own dedication of merit. 我们自己行回向，好吧？May every living being our minds as one and made with love, share the fruits of peace, with hearts of goodness, luminous and bright. If people hear and see how hands and hearts can finally May our minds awake to great compassion, wisdom, and to joy. May kindness find reward. May all who sorrow leave their grief and pain. May this boundless light dispel the darkness into paradise. May all become compassionate and wise. May all become compassionate and wise. May all become compassionate and wise. And should we bow to the Buddha? Bow in respect to the Venerable Master. Alrighty, that's going to do it for us for today. We'll see you all next week for more of the 10 Transferences and Master Xuanzang's journey. Amitofo. Bye now.
Thank you. We have an announcement. Next week, daylight saving time will start in the US. So for area where you don't have daylight saving time, it's going to start 1 hour earlier. 下礼拜天开始在美国的那个夏令时间开始了。所以如果你在这地区没有用夏令时间的话，下礼拜就会提早一个小时。比如说在亚洲的话，就是10点半就开始了。那在澳洲的话，应该是12点半开始。阿弥陀佛。